call.
Mayor Connie Ball.
Here.
Vice Mayor Bill Costner. Here. Alderman John Bugg. Here. Alderman Freddie Gregg. Alderwoman Kathy Hope.
Here.
Alderman Kenny Morgan. Here. City Attorney Terry Hurst. Here. City Administrator Scott Collins.
Thank you. Next item is the approval of minutes of the previous meetings, the first one being the regular session, September the 13th, 2011. We have a motion to approve.
I make a motion.
We have a second.
I'll second it.
Any discussion or questions? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. The special call meeting, September the 28th, 2011. Do we have a motion to approve those minutes?
And I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussions? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. Hear none. Next item is recognition of our Showcase on the River sponsors. Who do we have here tonight that you're aware of? Anyone else? Let me read the names here first for the record, and I think y'all will have a copy of the minutes. The gold sponsors is Rocky Top Graphics, Grandmaster Concrete, ConAgra, Brockwell Construction, and Cobb County Baptist Hospital. And our silver sponsors, the SI Group, Community Development Partners, LLC, Manus Funeral Home, Smoky Mountain Home Health, Bush Brothers, U.S. Bank, and Ford's Cruise Through. And our bronze sponsors, Tennessee State Bank, Keller Realty, Lowe's Home Centers Incorporated, and Hummel Construction Company. Okay, for those that are here, if you'll come up here. Now, who do you represent?
We need the silver.
Yeah. Where's that one? If y'all would come around behind here and we'll have a picture made. Council, y'all get up with me, please. You know the plan. Smoky Mountain Health and Hospice.
Within.
John.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Take a couple more. All right. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And just one more. Okay, smile. All right. Thank you.
Tim's back out last.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Yeah, Tim, what you trying? Tim's trying to get us stirred up. We do really want to thank all of these sponsors, because without them, the Showcase on the River wouldn't have been possible. Okay, the next item is Scott Collins' report.
Mayor and board, the individual department reports are on file here at City Hall, and if anybody would like copies, we'd be happy to provide them. In relation to that, starting next month, there's going to be a financial summary page in your notebooks every month. In addition to the weekly updates I've been sending to all of you, we're going to print it out department by department and show what percentage they're at, what percentage they should be at, and total expenditures and income. Also, Riverwalk Phase 1 is very near completion. Next week we'll be doing a punch list with the engineers and contractors to make sure everything has been done as planned, and then a ribbon cutting ceremony with the Board of Mayor and Aldermen will be scheduled. The solid waste transfer station is scheduled for completion this week, and a punch list must also be done with it, with the engineer and the contractor, again, to make sure everything's been completed as planned. And again, a ribbon cutting will be scheduled for that. Tim mentioned the RTP grant. One thing I would like to add, in addition to Tim's comments, one of the key officials with the Parks and Recreation from the state of Tennessee was out here, April Harris, and she's one of the decision makers on the grant application itself, and she was ecstatic about what the city of Newport is doing on the riverbank, and that kind of gives me a sense of optimism that we're going to be funded for that grant also. And Tim and Parks and Rec's done a lot of great work for that. Riverwalk Phase 2, of course, is underway, and one thing I need to mention on this, during the ceremony where Commissioner Shore was out here, we had an opportunity to walk with the Commissioner up and down the riverbank, and he was so impressed with what your all's vision has accomplished out there that he is the former mayor of Franklin, Tennessee, population 68,000, and everybody knows about Franklin. It's very upscale. He wants Franklin to copy after Newport, to do the river in Franklin, what Newport's doing here, and he wants to make this a model for Franklin. And I just was so impressed with that comment. The environmentals are underway with Phase 2, and we're also in negotiations and discussions with property owners on Phase 2, so it's moving forward at a good pace. One bit of somewhat negative news to report. ARC grant is not looking favorable. If you all will recall, we put in a pre-application to the ARC to try to get some relief on the Martini and Indian Hills flooding situation. In a meeting earlier in the week with Evan Sanders, he said that they're making announcements, and it does not appear that Newport's going to be on this year's list. However, on a more positive note, Ben Hicks has been working with TDOT, and TDOT is going to purchase all the tile needed for the Martini Street area, and we're working on the easements, been working with City Attorney Terry Hurst, so the Martini Street area is going to be addressed, and it's going to be addressed very soon. So I know we've got a lot to do in Indian Hills and some other areas, but we're systematically beginning to go ahead and address them. And of course, we'll come to you and ask for additional grant applications, hoping we can do it all at once, but at least we're starting a systematic approach to bring relief to those folks up there. The last thing to report on, the EECBG grant at the Tanner Building, the last HVAC unit has been installed. The last report I got, and this was on Thursday, they had to do some flashing around the unit, and then that program will be completed. Now that the electricity is back on in the building, we're doing a thorough inspection and going to do a bid list for the interior repairs, and then we'll be going to bid this weekend. Hopefully have about a week turnaround on that, and very soon try to get our tenants back in the Tanner Cultural Center. Mayor, Council, that's all I have to report at this time.
Thank you, Scott.
Mr. Mayor, if I could, during the correspondence, I just want to make you all aware, we have 3 officers that have experienced some injuries and medical problems in the past month, and I just want to let you all know that I can't detail it to you, but we're on the road to recovery with 3 officers. I want to let you all know that we do ask that you keep our department, and especially those 3 members in your prayers, and hopefully they'll continue to progress and we get everybody back to work in the next couple of months.
Thank you, Chief.
Scott, when do you expect the transfer station to be operable? Is there a set date or is it still expected?
It is not a set date yet. The construction phase of it is going to be completed this week. Early next week, we want to schedule with the engineers and the contractors. So, not this week, but next week, it should be, we'll schedule the ribbon cutting, and our trucks will start utilizing it next week.
Okay, there's nothing under 6, 7, or 8. Moving to new business number 9. Item A is Resolution 2011-14, subdivision regulations, certificate of approval for recording. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. Hear none. Item B is Resolution 2011-15, subdivision regulations in lieu of completed improvements. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. Item C is Resolution 2011-16, subdivision regulations, pavement base to include binder. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. Item D is Resolution 2011-17, subdivision regulations, amend the appendix. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. Item E is Resolution 2011-23, hotel motel tax. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yep. Well, if we got discussion, we'd like to put in words to be heard about this hotel motel tax.
Okay. Step to the...
Our hotel guests already pay a 3% hotel tax. You want to take it from 3% to our guests to paying 8% to the highest cost across the state of Tennessee. Can you explain to me and tell me where this money is going to be going?
Yes, you want me to speak now?
Yeah, you can.
Well, we got EDC and tourism doing fund. This money will go into that account, and that will leave the money we're putting in now, which is over $100,000. The city and county puts in about $400. The city puts in about $100 something. So this will leave us where we wouldn't have to raise the property tax on. And by the way, I don't believe we get the full 5%. Because I read state law, we match the county. Right now, the city don't get nothing. The county gets 3%, the city gets 0.
And why is that? Why is the county getting something from the city business?
It's the way they passed the rule of the state legislature. And we have to go with them, get permission. And it's never been done. They've had about 50 years since back in '60, since all the motels been here. They never paid the city tax. And the city, provided a lot of city services, which, you're in the city.
In Shelbyville, Tennessee, the city and the county split a 3% hotel motel tax. Split a 3%. Pigeon Forge just recently raised theirs from 2% to 3%. But our city,
Gatlinburg has city tax, Pigeon Forge, Pittman Center, Sevierville, Marshtown. Marshtown's got 5. And I took a trip a while back, went out all the way to the West Coast, and every town I stayed in, I paid anywhere from 75 cents to $3. The city or motel tax went to the city.
everybody has,
Everybody has
occupancy
that.
fees, they have resort fees.
Yeah.
Newport is not a resort.
No, it's not.
You want to
We're
deter,
not calling this
you want to
resort.
deter people from staying here? You want them to go on down the road somewhere
They're not
else?
gonna- When you advertise your...
It's gonna happen.
For your motel...
I'm going to lose contracts over taxes.
Now it's about $1 or $2.
Yeah, Gatlinburg's a destination. I would pay it if I went to Gatlinburg.
And then it amounts to about $1 or $2 per room. And I pay that all the way to California. Every bill I got, I pull them out, look. And I got a check, and like every county and city right now is having a hard time. We don't raise taxes on the work these people pass through. When I got my bill, I expect to pay a tax. If it was a city or county tax, it was some $4 something straight. I didn't complain about that. That's tax. Everybody knows you're going to pay a tax. And I don't think this will break you paying $1.
It's not going to break me. It's going to hurt our guests and our tourism that come into here.
Well, the money we're putting in, let this go for the EDC.
How can you say that since we're already paying the 3% and it goes into the county and it goes to a general fund? It doesn't go to anything like that.
That's right. And the city don't get nothing. We pay 2 taxes. And if we have to raise taxes, we're going to raise your taxes, and your business pays higher taxes. And this way, we're letting people come through and pay a little. They're not. It'd be different if they was paying $20. This is like, that'd be $1.
It's almost 18%. You want people to pay on hotel motel?
How much?
It'll be almost 18%.
Well, we're not paying 5%. I know it said 5, but I believe by law, we can't charge no more than what the county's charging. I've checked in on the rules, and I believe if they get 3, we can charge 3. And if you go around, I'll check on the website, all the counties around us charge the city. They have a
But
city.
can you guarantee this is going to bring business and tourism into our
I
hotels?
can't guarantee nothing.
Or you
But I
can
don't think
guarantee
it's gonna
that
hurt you.
it will be used for that?
Oh, yes, we're designated for tourists and the EDC, which that promotes y'all's motels. We have to, that's a law.
Do you currently get trash pickup?
I pay for it through Tidy Waste.
You got,
Got police protection through the city?
Yes, we have police protection that come when you call them, finally, when they arrive, and then they tell our guests, and the quote unquote, this has been said there, when the police come, they tell the guests when their car's been broken into, well, it happens around these hotels.
I think they provide you pretty good service.
Oh, yeah, I'm not
But we didn't have the fire
saying that one little bit. I just want to know why we are going to have to pay county and city on a hotel motel tax.
Like you said, Sevierville, every town nowhere's got a city and county tax, and it's like 2 or 3%. And by law, that's all we can't charge
Pigeon
them more.
Forge charges 12.25% sales tax on the hotel rooms. I know because we own the hotels there.
Right.
It is 3% a hotel motel tax as divided between the city and the county.
Well, I'm quite sure the county won't divide that with us because they're already in the hole. We're just trying to find new revenue without raising property tax. And if you're in our position, this doesn't hurt the local people. And when people are passing through, it's just going to amount to $1 or $2 on the bill.
It's just...
We don't just single you out, but...
No, I know you're not singling us out, but still, it's just a reputation that we're going to have. You come across the state of North Carolina, first county you stop in is this county.
Right.
So it's like a speed
And if
trap.
you go that way, you're going to pay the tax that way. And we just ask for a little bit of help, and we help y'all a lot. You call us, and they got the fire department, it costs a lot of money, and we're just trying to find a way. Every city's just like this. And I just checked through our charter and just looked, and I seen, we didn't get nothing. And we have to pay city tax and the county tax. People in the city, we don't get no break. And we're just trying to find a revenue without raising city taxes, because right now, people in the city pays almost as much as in the county.
That's
We
all
just
I have to say.
appreciate you work with us.
Thank you. So we did have a motion and a second.
Can I speak?
Yes.
Okay. Jim Holmes over Motel 6 in Newport. I have the same concerns that Glenna has. And, the thing is, when you increase taxes, it's going to make a difference on our business. It might be $1 or $2. And you keep saying, it's not going to affect the local people. I've got burnout victims right now that's scratching and scraping just to try to come up with money for another night's stay. It is going to affect local people. I have local people stay in my motel. They stay on a weekly basis sometimes because they have nowhere else to go. You say it's just $1 or $2, but that's their money. That $1 or $2 is their money. And I just have to say I'm shocked in a county full of Republicans, and I am a Republican, that anybody would impose any type of tax in this type of economic climate. It's just horrible right now. And to try to put any more burden on people right now, I just think is wrong. I'm anti-tax right now. And I think if you look at the news, you watch the news, I know you all do, everybody is the same way right now. And I've looked at this thing online. There's a lot of cities doing the exact same thing you guys are doing. And this is a politically convenient tax. And I say that because the people who's traveling from Myrtle Beach to come stay in Newport, they can't vote for you guys. So it's easy to impose that tax on them because they don't have any voting rights here in Cotton County and Newport. So, and I understand, don't get me wrong, I understand that you're in a dilemma and that you've got bills to be paid. I do understand that. But you got to put yourself in the other man's shoes as well. And I'm looking out for my customers. And that's the main reason I'm here, because I look out for my customers. And my customers, yeah, they may have to pay $2, $3 more, but that concerns me. Because what's going to happen, I don't think you're really looking at the long-term effect of this. Because what could happen is people get upset and they decide to go stay over on the North Carolina side, which the taxes are not as high, and we lose that revenue. So if we have less revenue on the year, you're getting less tax dollars. So it's all in how you look at it, I suppose, but I think this is going to have a negative effect. I really do. And we've already got an email from our company just pre-warning us about 2012. 2012 is an election year. Election years for our business, for some reason, is always bad for business. And I don't know why. So we're already looking at probably revenues going down this year. So I just wanted to voice my concerns about it. I understand you guys got a job to do, but please look at from the other man's perspective. Not just from the perspective we need to raise taxes, we need to get this extra money. Look, there's other things you can do to raise money besides putting a tax on the hotels and motels. And let me just say, we appreciate the services of the Newport Police Department and the Fire Department, and they have been great, let me tell you, especially the Police Department. They've always been there to help us out. But we do pay our taxes. Mike Schuler pays a lot of taxes in the city of Newport. I'll just say that. And on top of that, we have to pay 3% more. Or we don't, our customers do. Now, you walk into Cracker Barrel, you go to Walmart, you do not have to pay that 3% tax. But when you walk into Motel 6 in Newport or in Best Western, you got an extra 3% tax you've got to pay. 12.75%. I can tell you, I get a lot of people, their eyebrows raised when you tell them the tax rate. So I can't imagine what it's going to be like when I say it's going to be 15.75% or whatever it's going to be. We will lose business from this. It may not be a lot, but I guarantee you we will lose some business from this. So that's all I had. I just wanted to voice my opinion, let you know what I thought about it, and I just think it's bad. I really do. I think there's other things we could do. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments from the council?
That's my opinion.
You just don't know.
I don't know, but that's just my opinion, Tim, and I wanted to express, I wasn't going to say anything, but I feel like you're being honest, and I want to tell you my opinion.
We appreciate it. Like I said, we've been here, and there's no money, and we're broke, and we're just trying to find, a way, and this, the city don't get nothing, and we got a lot of expenses, and I've been on the county, but both sides, the county's broke, the cities, it's just like that airport, and I just went around all the counties joined it, they all got a hotel, motel tax, city tax. Now, I just checked even Little Fitton Center, and Scribbles got that city tax. And they get, they get off their cabins and everything. So, we're just not picked on it, but, we just think, well, this don't hurt nobody too bad. And I bet people that calls you, they don't ask the tax rate. When I was traveling, I never actually, I get up next morning, my bill, it said $100 room, and I paid, it'd be $115, $120, all that's tax. I expected that, because I know I don't pay tax. But I'm sorry, I hope you understand our situation, but we've tried.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Item F is Resolution 2011-24, abolishing the Animal Control Board. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. And there's no consent agenda items. Item 10, park development bid for the LPRF grant, Playwright Sports Services. You have a copy of that bid. Tim, you have any comments on that?
Basically, I'm sorry that we only got probably one bid, as I've been instructed, and we did contact every company that was out there from Asheville to Memphis to try to get other bids, but it looks like there was only one bid that came in. And of course, 10 years ago, Playwright did our courts at City Park.
Are you satisfied with this?
Scott, I haven't seen the actual amount of it, but I know Playwright's work, and it is really good.
Okay.
And it does fall within the grant's budget projection.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear that.
Mayor, if I could I ask Scott to just briefly explain how we came to abolish the animal control board? The reason I say that, Scott, is because I think some people don't understand the difference between it and the animal shelter for the public. I was asked this week, so just want to make clear for the record that what that actually is.
Okay, what it is, the Animal Control Board was established several years ago for the purpose of assisting the council to oversee the operations of the animal shelter. That included hiring recommendations, budgetary issues, the whole operation of the animal shelter. They were a very valuable asset. And then, as you all well know, in 2005, you all shifted to the city administrator's form of government. And since then, we have a qualified and dedicated animal control director. We have an animal shelter director, and we also have a medical services director. So when we met with the Animal Control Board, their question was, what do you want us to do? And so I asked them, what do you all need to do? And the discussion went from there is that they're all going to continue to work in individual voluntary capacity, but with the structure that has been provided now, the board oversight is no longer needed.
Thank you.
Any comments from citizens?
I'd like to ask one question. When will the river walk be ready to walk on?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
When will the river walk be able to walk?
You can walk on it now. We'd like for you to come on down and walk on it. Yeah, it's, we're within 2 weeks of our punch list, just like the street department has to do. So we've got a few things to do there. But there's an amendment to go along with it that we, as a city, are going to do, and that's our lighting. That's all coming into play. But we got to finish their part before we can start our part. So it is open to walk on now.
But technically, are there still safety issues before we tell everybody they can walk on it?
The one is after dark. That would be number one. And I know.
So we're discouraging people from walking after dark because of the lighting?
Right. There's a dark spot. That's the only safety concern there is. There's a couple of dark spots. But as far as daytime hours go, come and see what we've done. Because we're fixing to expand it even more with this one.
Scott?
Mayor, council, there's one thing I did want to add. Usually I try to keep my reports straight and to the point, very factual, because I know time's limited. But the Riverwalk Phase 1 has been completed. The concrete's been poured, the railing's been installed, and everything in accordance to the grant. What's not being mentioned is all the detail work being done by Tim, Mark Hill, and that fantastic staff, Parks and Recreation Department. In addition, the street department has came in, hauled in, scraped up, done so much. The grass that's out there, that wasn't part of the grant. That was our guys taking the initiative to make something better. The river rock out there, that wasn't part of the grant. Again, it's our guys stepping forward wanting to make their community better. So, again, that's not part of the usual technical report, but the work that's, the extra effort that's been put in back there, I think is going to pay great dividends in the future, and I just want to make mention of that.
Thank you, Scott. Any comments from citizens?
I'd like to ask, is it possible that we'll get back in the Tanner building for the first of the year?
Yes, ma'am. We'll be going to bid this weekend, and then the goal is to be back before Thanksgiving, because we really want to push it. We're going to be in there tomorrow and Thursday, going over everything that needs to be replaced, repaired, etc., cleaned up, and then we'll have about a week, 2 weeks maximum bid window. We'll ask council to probably host a special session just to simply approve the bid and then start immediate work.
Well, if somebody's interested in space at the facility, since I think you told me today that some of the organizations have decided to move out, what do they need to do if there's some nonprofits, or if some of the current organizations want larger space or wanted to occupy space? Who do they need to contact, and what's the process?
Any nonprofit that may be interested in acquiring a rental space at the Tanner Cultural Center simply needs to contact us here at City Hall. Ask for me or Regina, either one, and we can take their information. What we're doing, we're forming a tenants board up there, and we've been meeting on a monthly basis. Yes, we are losing a couple of tenants, but at the same time, we've already had 1 or 2 asked to be included in. So we're moving forward, and the goal is to allow the senior citizens program that Carlene oversees to more or less have the entire top floor, and we can accommodate all the others in the lower levels. That's still some details that we're working through, but anybody that's interested in wanting to rent a space just needs to contact City Hall.
Thank you.
We have a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Thank you.